Hey guys, so today we are going to do an engagement photo shoot with the iPhone XS. So ever since the iPhone X came out, people are obsessed with the portrait mode. It's got a dual camera system, it's got built-in HDR that's supposed to be amazing, and people say it looks like a professional camera. So we're actually going to put that to the test and do an engagement photo shoot here in the lovely city of Nashville, Tennessee, and compare it with an actual professional DSLR. All right, so I'm just gonna show you what you have to pack into a pro DSLR bag versus the iPhone. Camera, lens, another lens, at least 2 batteries, a light, and a camera charger. Then with the iPhone, all you gotta do is stick it in your pocket and you're good to go. So now it's time to go meet up with our engaged couple and do our photo shoot. Welcome to Nashville. Okay, so we're with our couple now. We got Megan and Johnny. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much. So we are going to compare the iPhone portrait mode with an actual professional DSLR. Are y'all fans of the portrait mode?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They take really good pictures,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's going to be awesome to see like the actual difference between a really good camera and what they say is the best camera for a phone on the market. So how long have y'all been engaged?
4 months. Got engaged in January.
Nice.
In Tulum.
Nice, that's so awesome. Well, you ready to take some pictures?
Let's do it.
All right, sweet. All right, now look at each other and like kind of laugh or smile. The thing with the portrait mode is like you have to get the exact right distance away. All right, so we just did the iPhone and now I'm switching to the 5D. I got a 50mm on and we're gonna kind of try and take around the same shots and see what we can get. Now look at each other. Perfect. They look like professional models. I'll do horizontal this way now. Beautiful. We got the nice Batman building. Nice. Now look at each other and just kind of like, you know, say something sweet to her. We'll see with the backlight how good this iPhone works. Alright. Nice. Yep, perfect. And now smile really big. Love it. And laugh. You can just tell her something really funny. Yep. There you go. Love it. Love it. Okay, cool. Let's try with the phone. Same exact thing. Cute. Okay. This is awesome. I'm so curious to put them like side by side. I can't wait to see what they look like. Yeah. What do you think? Like off the top of your like, what do you think is gonna be better?
After they're edited,
I don't know. I think I'm gonna vote for the iPhone. Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for the DSLR.
Okay. We got one for each. We're gonna see. So we got 5D on the left and the iPhone on the right. So now that they're side by side, which is really nice. Again, the 5D does have more, I just feel like kind of depth to it. But it is pretty remarkable. Like look at the iPhone, like it did a pretty decent job, I will say. Like, I think the Canon, you know, obviously with the lens and everything, it can focus in on them and get every single detail, whereas the iPhone doesn't do that as well. So let's see this next one. Backlighting. That is where the iPhone, I think, is at its worst. It had a very hard time picking it up, making it even. Like you can tell from the 5D, which is so nice, so crisp and clear, with that nice, beautiful glow coming from their back, but you can still see their face. Everything's in focus, versus the iPhone where it is still just like very, very, very hazy, obviously. Everything's a little bit too even. You still have a glow on her hair, but it's just, the quality, it's just not as good in my opinion. Same thing when you're trying to focus in on that ring, the 5D was able to just boom, get that ring, and the iPhone just like couldn't do it. It would just kept going to her face every single time. Like, would not focus on just her ring, which it kind of looks like her ring is in focus. It almost looks like everything's in focus. And then when you zoom in, you can tell it's a little bit, you know, blurry. And then her face is the thing that actually is in focus. But still, I mean, a very pretty picture. If you're just out and about and you want to take a cute little photo, then, I mean, this would be a good thing. I will say the iPhone does win when it comes to skies and getting that because of the HDR, the built-in HDR. So it's exposing for the shadows and it's exposing for the highlights. So on a 5D, you can't really do that unless you take 2 different photos, right? Or you're like exposing for an HDR photo, which is a very specific kind of thing. So I will say the sky's awesome. I mean, I love that in this photo. Like, you can see the clouds, the colors, versus the 5D where it's just kind of white. Okay, even if you think it's silly, like, oh, of course, this like super expensive camera is gonna be better than the iPhone, this is still a really, really fun experiment to do no matter what. It's always great to take something and compare something side by side so you can really, really see the differences. And there definitely are pros and cons to both. For the 5D, you can definitely see that it has more of a rich color, the focus is definitely better, you know, getting people and cutting them out of the background necessarily, or focusing on that one thing. When it comes to backlight, the 5D definitely hands down, it was the winner. And then with the iPhone, some pros are that it actually does a really good job with the HDR with the background. And the sky exposes for the brights and exposes for the darks, which is actually really nice. So when it comes to the sky, it'll really get those nice clouds. It did a really good job at finding the subject of the photo, and what it does is it kind of like sees the edges of that and it cuts it out from the background. So it's not necessarily focusing like a lens would focus. It's, you know, finding the edges, and then that way you can blur the background out. Will the iPhone take over for professional photo shoots? I don't think so, at least not yet. Maybe in the future, but I don't think we're there to that point yet. I think we're still, you know, buying professional equipment. You can tell a difference. I think the iPhone portrait mode is actually pretty amazing with the capabilities it has for the everyday consumer. Like, so many people have access to this now, and it actually takes really good photos. What the iPhone portrait mode can do is actually pretty spectacular, especially compared to phones even 2 years ago, you know what I mean? But I'm curious to see if you are surprised as I am at how well the iPhone camera actually did hold up against a nice, really good professional DSLR. Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did comparing these 2 cameras and really seeing the differences. And I will see you next time on Try the Trend.